Their Majesties call into their presence Wolfgang von Wrestler.
That's you, Wolfie.
Let's have what makes it fun.
Oh, on the pillow.
As has been known in this realm from ancient times, it is the privilege of the crown to create certain honors and to bestow these honors upon worthy subjects at its pleasure.
And Wolfgang.
And foremost among these honors is that of court baron. For to be created the court baron is to be admitted to the rank of nobility and to be warranted a special position in the order of precedence. And while a court baron shall have no power by that title over others, still shall that title bear suitable honor and great distinction for himself and his deeds. For a court baron may be known by the title baron and then his proper name, and may wear, to signify his nobility, a silver coronet ornamented with 6 pearls.
Wolfgang, I know you've seen this coronet a lot. It belongs to your lady wife. Do you recognize this coronet?
Yes, I do indeed, Your Majesty.
Where did it come from?
Otis and I made it.
How many of them were there?
7. It was a gangbang of barons, Your Majesty.
Caitlin, I am so glad you are in our court. And even dressed.
For your frequent flyer miles, Your Majesty.
Wolfgang, the reason that this is your wife's coronet is because there is a pile of regalia in my basement, and under it somewhere is a coronet that looks very much like this.
It's kind of like this.
And that is the one that I will give you. This one you get today. All of us have no scrolls. And we thought about doing scrolls and having them done later. And we realized that we could only get one signature on them. And so we kind of tossed that idea away. You will be the only person in our courts and in our reign who has no scroll. Because the reason we would have you have one is to have Alexis and Caitlin sign it. Hug that lady first.
Everybody else gets a hug with me. That's fine.
Your Majesty.
Excellency Wolfgang helped do a lot of the sculptural work on the crowns that we are wearing now. So I would imagine that within about, what do you think, 3 days?
3 days there will definitely be a design. I'm sure he'll bring it to the next event for his coronet. Ask him to see it.
Probably lovely.
Their Majesties call forth the Honorable Lady Gwyneth von Fiedler, Companion of the Order of the Laurel and Baroness of the Court.
Your Majesties, I have some business before you. I beg a boon.
Well, if it be a right and proper thing and within our power, it shall indeed be yours.
I believe it will be. For her work and her excellence in Anglo Saxon research, I would ask that Lady Isolde de la Ramee be elevated into the Order of the Laurel.
Their Majesties invite into their court Masters and Mistresses of the Order of the Laurel.
masters and mistresses of the Order of the Laurel, most worthy and graceful artisans, is it your will and belief that Isolde de la Ramee should be numbered amongst you?
Aye.
Lady Isolde de Ramee, present yourself before their majesties.
Is there a royal peer to speak on behalf of this good lady's courtesy?
Your Majesties, with your permission,
Please.
I am Caitlin Stewart, by the grace of Osis, Duchess of the Middle Kingdom, Countess of Eldemere, and Lady of the Rose, and I stand for Lady Isolde. At times like this, when I've been honored with the privilege of speaking at someone's elevation, a number of thoughts go through my mind as to how to best do tribute to the person for whom I'm speaking. And at the moment, what's going through my mind is I should probably say this in Old English as a tribute to Lady Isolde. However, the only thing that I ever knew how to say was, "Give me a beer, where's the bathroom?" and my stomach feels like a wet otter. There is a cheap philosophy in that if you look real hard, but it's not a fitting tribute to this lady. What I will leave you with is the lady who kneels in front of their majesties at the moment is a wealth of information. But more so than that, her kind nature and gentle dispositions makes her very, very approachable. And that, good people, is not only a laudable quality in a peer, but a necessary one. At this point, I would like to express to their majesties thanks for this debt of gratitude that I owe you, both for giving the Middle Kingdom such a worthy treasure and recognizing her as the peer she has been, is now, and will be in the future, and for allowing me the opportunity to finally call her sister.
Is there a member of the Order of Chivalry to speak to this lady?
Yes. I'm Sir William of Fairhaven, member of the Order of Chivalry of the Middle Kingdom, and beyond the many obvious reasons why I think a very great deal of this lady, I've been asked to attest to her quality of chivalry. And we hear a lot about it in our society. But I think of chivalry as the component of service in a quiet way where someone does something for other people and never asks for anything back. Where someone takes care of things that need to be done, and even though they might not be a lot of fun in the task, they never complain. In fact, in the many years that I have been privileged to spend with this lady, I've never heard her complain about any task ever given to her. She's made hundreds of scrolls for this kingdom. She is served quietly, pleasantly, and never said an unkind word about any soul. And the fact that I am a knight at all is a testament to how much work her chivalry put into me. And if I could give her my belt, I would. Because without her, I wouldn't have it. And I don't know what greater chivalry there can possibly be than that. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a master or mistress of the Order of the Pelican to speak to test his lady's service to our kingdom?
Yes, your majesties. I am Baroness Alexis McAllister, Beverley, Mistress of the Order of the Laurel and the Pelican. Did you notice? I have been privileged to know Isolde for most of my SCA career. And what can you say about someone who is always making sure that things happen, always helping out? What can you say about someone who is one of the co-founders of a group in an area who is like a seneschal of a group in one little area, finds out there's a seneschal of a group in another area, helps them to merge and become one very strong group instead of like trying to become a powerful person and realizing that the job of seneschal is not that of power but of leader. What can you say about someone who, as Sir William said, assists others and has no thought of any given return to herself, but just makes sure that things happen? Her conversational Anglo Saxon, as Duches Caitlin cited, the thing I like is I have a terrible pain in my spleen. If she has provided 3 kingdoms with a complete book of ceremonies in Anglo Saxon, if you have an Anglo Saxon persona and you want your AOA scroll done in Anglo Saxon, it's there. She's done it. If you win your crown tourney and you have an Anglo Saxon persona, you would like your coronation done in Anglo Saxon, it's there. She's done it. And she's getting ready to go back and do them again because she knows so much more now, and, well, they're just not right. I am very proud to, as Duchess Caitlin said, to finally be able to call her a sister. But I have a far greater title. I am her friend, and she is mine. And that is a gift beyond all price.
Thank you, Ruth. Isolde, right, mindful of the wishes of these your peers. The part's important. Your peers, already. The medallion that we put around your neck, it doesn't change you, it recognizes you. We are minded to recognize you as a companion of the order. As the laurel wreath has ever stood for excellence, so here we give it to you as a symbol of the mastery of your art. Will you give us your word to continue to fulfill the requirements of the governance of this order, as we will surely allow you to have that until now?
Will you increase your labors nobly, increase your talents as befits one of your rank, and seek to disseminate your talent and knowledge throughout our society? You promise to teach any dependents that you may choose to have. Then promise to uphold the ideas of nobility. I hear you pledge to the crown of the Middle Kingdom ever to uphold
that is ever held
the laws and customs of the Midrealm, and serve wherever I might, according to my knowledge and skill. This I promise. Mr. Wolfgang, would you like to tell the lineage of this particular medallion?
I'm sure he would, and I bet he'd like to stand right up.
This symbol of the laurel has been cast over the wall in our banner, starting with Mary, then Rhea, then Alexis, then Brewston, then Rosamond, then Natsu, and Mary, and Gwyneth, myself, and Matthew.
Mistress Isolde. Hoorah!
Give us reading. Know ye that we, in consideration of the singular excellence and expertise in the art of Anglo Saxon research and language studies, and the generosity of spirit with which she has shared with our society, do create and advance Isolde de Ramee to the title and degree of Mistress of the most noble Order of the Laurel, to be in all places of honor numbered a peer of our realm, with all rights, privileges, insignia, precedence, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. And furthermore, do we confirm unto her by letters patent the right to bear arms within the society without let or hindrance from any person.
Good masters and mistresses, we would invite you to give us your counsel immediately following our court in our royalty room.
In our room right next door to the royalty room, just to the left of it.
Any room, the royalty and is a royalty. Oh, you're so good. Thank you.
Good Lord and Lady Scribes, as you hear your name, if you would stand. Don't think we can't find out when your birthday is too. I know when your birthday is. Okay,
I know you're
okay.
It'll only get worse for you.
Up here. Well, you're not going to make me take off my clothes.
So most of you have seen Her Grace at her finest. I believe Your Grace had some business that you wanted in my court. That is what you said from the back of the hall, yes?
It's over. Sometimes it's not quite so terrible when the king knows your name.
Your Excellency, is it okay if there was perhaps a token congratulation expressed by Her Grace towards your Lord husband?
A handshake will do.
You have my leave to no longer heckle me in my courts, yes.
What caused you that wonderful outburst? Exactly.
Sure, Your Majesty, that among her people it is a gesture of respect.
She's running out of Dad, tell us later.
Tell us later.
So, the moral lesson that we wish to explain with the help of Her Grace Caitlin was that not only can courts be fun and provide recognition for people, but they can provide education that one does not heckle the king loudly in his court, because in his court he can We hope this has been a fun court for you. We hope that you have all enjoyed the day.
We hope you will tell your friends if you thought it was a fun court and get them to come to courts in the future. That's part of the reason why we're holding them in the afternoons throughout our reign, is to try to get people to come to them, not to go out to dinner and decide they just want to stay out or go back to their hotel or leave the site. The court is fun, and if you write award recommendations for your friends, they ought to be here to get them, and you ought to be here to see it.
Any words, Alexis?
No, I just guess I'll just say, well, be excellent to one another.
Totally.
There being no further business, this court
Blaze and his lady last winter in the torrential blizzard that was all things. We sat around and we talked, and I was pretty impressed. But I don't recruit. I've never recruited anyone to my household. Kind of a tradition I picked up for my knight, Omar. So this man with his forthrightness came to me, and we talked about him being a squire. And I thought, well, let's just get him involved with the household. And he was already a member of Baroness Gabrielle's household. So we talked some more and eventually joined the household. Over the course of the summer, got to know some of my squires and some of the other people in my household. And all my squires were very impressed with him. So we talked some more and decided that I would take him as a squire. And normally I have a big written ceremony, and I just thought it doesn't suit Blade. He's a quiet guy. He's very smart. I enjoyed having him come down and visit in the summer, and we just sat around mostly and talked. And this is someone who should not be underestimated. I'm really glad that he came forward. I think he's going to be a very tremendous addition to my household, and the kind of person to be the future of the society. So, with becoming a squire, there are a few things we have to agree to. I understand that you're already a member of Baroness's household, and in most matters, I make very few requirements of my squires, and so I give you leave, and I understand that you need to spend time with that household as much as you need to spend time with our household. This makes a little more work for you, but I think that you can handle it. And there will be the occasion when I wish for you to fight with me, but I would never make such requests, especially while you're serving as baronial champion. Loyalty to your barony is extremely important, and it's an integral part of becoming a knight, is to serve your baron and baroness, in this case, just the baroness, as part of becoming a knight, because that's the representation of the crown. So, for my part, I'll take you as my squire, and I will never abandon you to any enemy. I will protect you, I will raise you up above all others, except for my God, my wife, and my king. I think that's a pretty good deal.
I think so too. Even me?
Even you, Your Grace. In ancient times, a squire would have been expected to shed blood for his lord, and that's why a squire's belt is red. This represents the blood that you would have been expected to shed. In our modern society, we do not shed blood in the strict sense of the word for the SCA, but this will be a badge. This will be a badge to distinguish you as one who wishes to serve. By your service, enrich the society. It makes you available to anyone who asks for aid. And your lady is taping, but usually it's the privilege of the lady to put the belt on. But I'll give you one last opportunity with the requirement. There's no station involved in becoming a squire. Squire is not a title, it's a job description. And I want to make sure that you still want to be my squire. Is that your wish? And the lady is
Trying to show the how to use the
Just learn how to
technology.
tape anyway.
This belt was made for me by my knight, by His Grace, Mr. Omar. And I wore this belt from the time I was squire in 1988. This is pretty much the sum total of my regalia. I fought in it, I wore it with garb. pretty beat up. I think we need to work on getting you a little nicer belt for guard, but
I'd be honored to help.
perhaps His Grace would like to do that.
Yes, we can do that. Those kinds of queries are easily done. I thought you meant regular basis, putting it on the website.
It's real close. And I will give this belt. This is a nice cotton fighting belt. You can just beat it to death. I'll give this to your lady. Just keep for you. All right. Squire brother Gareth brought his chain. Fealty, in my opinion, is the single most important part of becoming a knight. Squire's chain is silver. Silver is a precious metal, but it is not the caliber of gold, which is the sole purview of members of the Order of the Chivalry. This belt represents your fealty to me, and through me, your fealty to the crown. And you may always swear fealty to the crown on your own, but you will always maintain our unbroken fealty through me, through you, to the crown. And I also got you a little more working chain if you choose to wear one for fighting. I have never quite gotten to that. Also, spurs. Once again, the metal of these are sort of silver. They're sort of gold. They're sort of silver. These spurs were a gift from one of my squire brothers to me, and I'm going to pass them on to you. The spurs represent your entry into the station of nobility, and the best description I've ever heard for spurs is that the knight would use his spurs to goad his steed into the battle, and to always goad the people to righteousness and the ways of truth. We got one last thing for our household that all the boys have. Since you don't have a pierced ear, you'll notice that I have a little silver Maltese cross ear cuff. Have you seen it? Very much like the gold cross earring that I wear. And all the squires have one of these. I am most pleased to accept you into my household. And welcome. Now, this is Blaze. He is my squire. He is my man. Honors done to Blaze are honors done to me and my household, and harm done to him I will repay 100-fold.
Yeah, now you can't even hit him back in practice.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Now I get to be like a Laurel widower.
you.